Wow, good morning. Rupees 500 crore net worth must for M&A financing eligibility. This is the topic of our discussion. Rupees 500 crore net worth must for M&A financing eligibility. Funding ceiling raised to 75%. Unlisted companies too can borrow. Reserve Bank of India has set a minimum net worth of rupees 500 crore for a company to be eligible for acquisition financing with even unlisted companies. Qualifying for such fundings through its amendment directions 2026 effective April 1st, the central bank expands the credit activities commercial banks may undertake with the acquisitions financed at the center. So the final circular is also more liberal than last year's draft, which was announced as part of the comprehensive reforms in the wake of Trump's tariffs, indicating a shift from caution to confidence on the economy. Now, the financing ceiling rises to 75% from the draft, 70%. So reducing the acquires minimum equity contribution to 25% from 30%. Eligibility is widened as the final framework admits both listed and unlisted borrowers. Ambiguity around balance sheet strength is replaced by a minimum net worth of rupees 500 crore, while unlisted acquirers are explicitly permitted if they carry an investment grade rating of BBB or anything higher. Even the bar on related party deals is refined and they continues to be prohibited in principle, but financing to increase stakes in already controlled entities is now allowed. So with the latest circular, Indian banks have financially been given room to finance corporate buyouts, a territory which was long dominated by multinational lenders. Lenders may fund Indian non-financial companies acquiring equity to compulsorily convert convertible debentures that can confer control subject to prudential caps on leverage, security, and governance. So the lending architecture is liberal by Indian standards, but tightly hedged. Funding may cover up to 75% of deal value. Borrowers must maintain a consolidated debt to equity ratio within 3:1, and facilities must be secured by the acquired securities with corporate guarantees. So the overall extends beyond buyouts. Bank can now lend against a defined pool of eligible securities, including shares, government securities, and rated debts within prescribed loan to value limits. With continuous monitoring and swift rectification of breaches, capital market intermediaries gain structured access to secure credit for operational needs, margin funding, and settlement mismatches. Though financing for proprietary trading remains barred and equity collateral attracts step haircuts. RBI also should draft norms for lending to REITs in which it barred use of proceeds for land purchases. Banks may lend only to SEBI registered listed vehicles with 3 years plus track record, 2-year positive distributable cash flows, clean regulatory history, and no stressed special purpose vehicles. So refinance of SPV loans can be done only for completed projects. So amended fundings easier for domestic banks now effective April 1st. Acquisition finance will be allowed only for companies with minimum rupees 500 crore net worth, including unlisted firms with BBB or higher rating. Banks can now fund up to 75% of deal value versus 70% in the draft, reducing minimum acquirer equity to 25%. New rules let Indian banks finance corporate takeovers, a domain earlier dominated by foreign lenders. and scheduled lending options to widen banks can lend against a pool of eligible securities. Structured credit accessible to capital market intermediaries to strict norms issues for lending to REITs. Thank you. Thank you very much.